Welcome to Sprinter. This demonstration presents the HP Sprinter data injection feature. Data injection enters data automatically into fields in your application. This avoids the need for manual data insertion, which can sometimes be tedious and error-prone. It can also save a considerable amount of testing time. To use data injection, Power Mode must be enabled, and an application must be defined in the Power Mode group. For the purposes of this demonstration, we will be working with the Mercury Tours web application, which is already defined, so we select it from the list of available applications. We then select the Data Injection node from the Power Mode group. The Data Injection pane displays all the data sets that are associated with our application, which data injection can use during our run. The Data Injection pane enables us to add additional data sets or remove data sets that are associated with our application. We can add data sets from the file system or from the Resources folder in the HPALM Resources module. These files are either in the Excel or comma-separated values format. We can see that a dataset named login, which is saved in the file system, is already associated with our application. Let's add another dataset. This dataset will be from the HPALM Resources folder. We click the Add button and select Add from HPALM. In the Resources folder, we select the Customer Details resource. This resource contains a file, and the column headers in the file have already been set up to match the names of the fields in our application. Data injection will automatically map the column headers of our dataset to the field names in our application and will allow us to inject the data from a row in the dataset to the matching fields in the display. We now have several datasets associated with our application. Data injection datasets are associated with our defined application so that any time we configure a test to work with the Mercury Tours application in the future, all the defined data sets will be available for our use. We are now ready to start the run. We see that Sprinter started the Mercury Tours application and the login screen is displayed. To test the list of predefined users in our dataset, we select the login dataset in the Data Injection toolbar. We then select the row in the dataset for the user named Jeff and click the Inject button. The username and password information from the dataset are automatically injected into the matching fields in the display. We can now log in. As we continue testing our application, we notice that the Book a Flight page requires manually entering a lot of customer information. We select the Customer Data dataset, select the row of data we want to insert, and click the Inject button to inject the customer data into the Book a Flight page. If needed, we can select a different row instead, and that data will be injected in place of our first selection. The data is automatically injected into the correct fields in the display, and we can continue our run. The Data Injection sidebar provides additional functionality to help you manage the data that you can inject into your application. You can view the mapping between the fields in your dataset and those of the application to help you verify that the data will be injected in the correct locations. You can also control the order of the field injection. This is especially helpful when you inject data into applications that have dynamic fields. Using the data injection feature can save you time on repetitive data entry and may avoid data entry errors. Data injection also enables you to prepare different data sets that you can use during your run in advance. This movie highlighted the data injection functionality. You can learn more about this and other Sprinter capabilities in the HP Sprinter User Guide.